Hello and welcome. This is the runner-up pick for the Wildcard match during the first week of the Grand Naval Battles event. For the second week of the Grand Naval Battles event, I am holding a guide contest where you can win 200 diamonds for the best guide for each of the ship classes. On top of that, I am holding a replay contest where you can get 200 diamonds for the best replay in a tier 5 or lower ship. Moving on to the match. Our hero in this match is Canix Extreme, which would translate to something like can't do anything extreme, or just can't do anything to an extreme degree. Essentially, he is in the tier 9 US carrier, the Essex. He is against the Taiho on the enemy team. It's a nice balanced match in terms of matchmaking, at least it seems to be. On the map Hotspot. And again, because this is carrier match, I will be observing everything myself because it's a replay and carrier replays are completely screwed. You can't follow what the other guy does because, well, they aren't working nicely. Canix Extreme started out with a drop on the Hatsuharu, who managed to beach himself here for a moment. But because the torpedoes weren't fast enough, they completely missed the Hatsuharu. It's okay, because US carriers mainly focus on dive bombers actually, nowadays anyway. So the focus is to kill this Hatsuharu with dive bombers, and it seems that he's trying to do that with manual drops, which is rather surprising. I find manual drops against destroyers to be rather difficult, although I guess maybe in US carriers it's a bit less so than Japanese ones, because the drop circle is larger, so it's a bit easier to hit, and it's governed by more RNG anyway. Wow, he got the hit off, but no fires or anything spectacular, although it seems something has broken the engine of this ship, otherwise she should be moving. So it should make this number 5 squadron's drop really easy. And bye Hatsuharu. These were manual drops, so they were pretty good. So the enemy carrier dropped on the friendly North Carolina, and I feel like this guy is rather toast. Bye North Cal. The friendly fighters are over here. Mostly they were there to cover the attack on this side, and I guess spot whatever's coming through the cluster of islands here. Because honestly, being in this location on this map is a bad idea. These people here, in this area here, are making a huge mistake. There is literally no reason to push through here. You should much rather bring your strength into the middle of the map and then fight. But anyways, planes have cycled. Oh, it seems something has shot down one of the fighter planes. That's unfortunate. This diminishes the strength of the group quite a bit. The other thing is that because the Essex only has one fighter squadron, he can't really challenge the Taiho's 2 squadrons, because the Taiho squadron can lock down. Because the Taiho squadron can simply lock down, and well, that just means that you can't do anything else. And Taiho's other squadron can simply strafe you and just win out the exchange. So it seems the plan is to go towards the Atago, although is that a good plan, because it's Japanese, it is a cruiser after all still, and she definitely can panic your planes. Although I guess the cruiser is rather low HP, so whether this actually makes a difference will be known later. Either the fighter engaged or the Atago used. Okay, it seems the Atago does not actually use his anti-air ability. But oh my god! Okay, now the Atago used his anti-air ability. And the carrier actually decided to go for the Nagato. Now that's surprising. If he had gone for the Atago, he could have already killed him. So I don't know what the hell that Atago was doing though. Okay, one of the torpedoes didn't arm in time, which is unfortunate because the only one that hit did not give him a flooding. So that's rather unfortunate. Luckily though, because the Atago used his damage, his anti-air ability right now, By the time these TIE bombers go on for a follow-up on the Nagato, it should have been enough. Although maybe he plans on going for the Fubuki instead. Oh, he is trying to go for the Fubuki. A really good drop too, like it was on point. This guy would definitely benefit from playing Japanese carriers, because he seems to really like dropping on destroyers with TIE bombers, and he seems to be rather on point with it. For some reason, his allies are saying that a DD should find the enemy carrier, but why? DDs are really bad at killing carriers. You should not want DDs to do that. Okay, another poor RNG drop, although I guess in some sense it was not that great anyway, because of the fact that, you know, it's a DD. And doing even slight maneuvers makes dodging rather easy against manual dive bombing. Or even automatic, I guess. So these drops on this Fubuki were rather mediocre. Okay, it seems the enemy's dive bombers are coming to hit this North Carolina, and our Essex player woke up and brought his fighters over to defend the friendly North Carolina. It's a stock North Cal, so it's definitely helpful. But it seems the enemy is bringing his fighters over, so I don't know if this fighter group can actually do something. I would already be setting up a strafe. Oh! Now this is something I did not expect. This is clever. I expected the strafe like here to maybe hit one of the torpedo bombers and the fighter, but it seems that Kunix had a different plan, but this North Cal is gonna have a bad day now. Because again, stock North Carolina does not have very strong anti-air. At least I think it doesn't. Okay, it's the annoying map edge scraping sound. The sound alone makes me not want to be on the map edge. For some reason, while the enemies pushed through on the left side of the map, his team stayed and fought with them. For God knows what reason. You should not do that. If they go over here, then just let them, while you go take your forces into the middle. Anyways, it seems the torpedo bombers are also following up on the North Carolina. That's unfortunate. This will probably cause a flooding and deal substantial damage. But Kunix Extreme managed to get a Fubuki that managed to beat herself. So bye, because this is like the easiest torpedo bomber hit in hit. You know, the life. Even if the Fubuki had started reversing, he would have just got more torpedoes. Okay, so 2 DDs down. That's good. By the way, I didn't pick this because it was a super high experience game, although it was substantial, but it was more to do with being an awesome game in general. Maybe not so much towards the start, because it's, you know, a US carrier, so it's not the most exciting one. Okay, so let's... Hatsuhara found the enemy Taiho, and pro tip, he won't be able to do anything because his guns will not penetrate... Also, is this... I think this is a friendly destroyer, like from this team's, that the Taiho simply killed. Because the Taiho has an armored deck. The gun... Oh, it's a Tashkent too, never mind then. Maybe it was the Tashkent. The Taiho has an armored deck, so this means that the guns of DDs are unlikely to deal much damage. So most of the damage is from fires. And the other thing is that carriers have planes, so they are rather likely to spot your torpedoes. So they can just, you know, take evasive action. Anyways, while I was paying attention to that one, Kunix attacked the Izumo with dive bombers and got a fire, so the Izumo probably used his damage control party now. And now there's a follow-up of dive bombers coming on. And this time it's 2 squadrons. So, enjoy, Izumo, enjoy. 1 barbecue coming up. What? Only 1 fire? Wow, that's some poor RNG. That's some really poor RNG. I was expecting at least 2 fires. Oh well, whatever. By the way, one other thing that bothers me. Why are you not using premium consumables? This is not a premium damage control party, and this is not a premium anti-air ability. You should definitely use the premium anti-air ability because it simply gives you at least 1 more charge. you should use it. Anyways, Konix Extreme wants to bring his fighters over, probably to defend this Hatsuharu from being perma-spotted, but seems that Taiho is having none of it and brought some fighters to intercept, but he kinda messed up, that is the Taiho, because just let Konix Extreme strafe them. But it's still in the anti-air bubble of an Izumo, so I'm sorry, but this just isn't going to go well for the Essex's fighters. Although, it does mean that the torpedo bombers will be able to do a drop. Oh, never mind, the Izumo focused anti-air on the torpedo bombers, which makes sense because those are the big threat for the Izumo. But this did mean that Konix Extreme managed to finish that squadron off, and he'll maybe be able to kill one plane of this squadron too. But this does mean that he can now bring some more dive bombers along to finish this Izumo off. Interestingly, the Essex's team is decently positioned. They are in a position to defend their cap, while the enemy team is like, what the hell, where is this guy going? Where is this guy going here that we can't see, but on the minimap we can. Then there are some ships over here, like they are in no real position to threaten the friendly cap. So this is why you don't go out on this side and essentially onto this area here. They are both poor areas to be in. Anyways, at this point, the issue is that it's a 4 against 5. And soon it might not even be a 4 against 5 because this Iowa might be soon dead. Sorry, this North Carolina, and maybe even this Iowa as a follow-up. Although this North Carolina has done really well. It's a stock North Cal and has 4 kills. Anyways, our friendly neighborhood Essex hero is going to strike this Izumo with dive bombers again. And Izumo is a really good target, and the Iowa is gonna get blapped by torpedoes. A friendly Iowa, that is. Okay, this time it was a much better drop, or much better RNG, 2 fires. Thing with Izumo right now is if he uses damage control party right now, if he even has it, then, you know, because it's a Japanese battleship, damage control party doesn't last nearly as long as on US or German ones. So, essentially he's screwed either way. Because if he doesn't use it right now, then the fire just kills him. And if you use it later, then never mind, he's dead anyway. This is a waste of a drop. And this is why the Essex flew away. He got Arsonist, which is excellent. And this fight over here, it's a low HP Tirpitz, half HP Tirpitz, and the friendly Iowa has managed to sink. Even though she was so high on HP earlier, this Tashkent has half his HP, and this Tashkent actually is in a threatening position for the friendly cap zone. But regardless, I mean, Konix's team is only 2 ships left out of the enemy's 4, and they are definitely behind in points, and there's only 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And I think this Tirpitz is not long for this world either, since, you know, she has 2000 HP. And Tirpitz is gone. Okay, at least Konix Extreme is pulling over his planes to finish this Tirpitz off. And our team depends upon you with 4 enemies left, so let's see if we can pull a solo warrior out of his hat. Pulling fighters over to kill this battleship fighter, which is kind of pointless in my opinion, because like 1 or 2 torpedoes will just kill the Tirpitz anyway. So even if they interrupt it, doesn't matter. So bye Tirpitz. You made literally 0 effort to dodge them. It would be unfortunate if this entire squadron died, because he doesn't have a full squadron of torpedo bomber replacements. However, it's good that they're not helping this fighter squadron, because that means that Taiho might... No, never mind. I thought Taiho might start running low on fighters, but never mind. It's 13 planes only shot down. Okay, 16 now. I guess the next focus is this Tashkent because he's threatening the cap zone. And if you look at the positioning of this actual carrier, where's the enemy carrier? Isn't she like somewhere around here? This might be an interesting conclusion. There's also a Baltimore left with half HP, who could make it difficult due to the anti-air abilities. And now you have to use your anti-air ability because the Taiho is coming for a strike on you, Essex. Since the Taiho doesn't have anything else to strike anyway. And he used the anti-air ability, which made the Taiho's dive bombers miss. Remember, the US carriers have a significant dive bomber advantage when striking an anti-air ability target. And that Taiho is right here. So the Japanese ones get screwed a lot more by the anti-air ability. This anti-air ability lasts for a total of 90 seconds, so it's quite substantial. Won't make you immune to planes though, but it should definitely give you a significant boost. For some reason the Tashkent is coming back instead of trying to cap. I don't understand that one. But this is where all the action goes, for the Essex anyway. Has to kill this Tashkent, otherwise it's gonna go poorly for him. And this the Tashkent? No, the Tashkent. I think that's the engine. No, actually that's a fire at the back. So this Tashkent should succumb to the fire. But here's some carry-on-carry action at close range. The Essex takes some torpedo bomber damage, but it'll be not that much. 1, 2, 3, and the Tashkent succumbed to the fire. Yeah, it's negligible damage. But the Taiho also has the anti-air ability, so the attack in return wasn't that great either. And there's some massive secondary action going on. Remember though that the secondaries on these ships are on the sides, so you kind of have to show broadside. If you sail away from the enemy carrier, then it just isn't gonna end nearly as well for you. I mean, sorry, when I say your secondaries aren't gonna do nearly as much, but that doesn't mean, of course, that you're gonna lose the fight. Of course not. I'm not actually sure which one has better secondaries, the Taiho or the Essex. But there's the thing that there's a Baltimore somewhere around here who could go into the cap, but at this point I think what's going to decide this match, because there's only 90 seconds left, is which carrier can kill the other carrier first. Because if the Taiho... Okay, actually if the Taiho doesn't kill the Essex and time runs out, then they still win. But if the Taiho dies to the Essex, then Koenig's Extreme's team should win due to points. Because, you know, a carrier death is a 110 point swing and there's less points between them. And this is the US carrier advantage. The dive bombers are still very likely to cause fires even through defensive fire. And Koenig's Extreme does not have defensive fire anymore. And this is one of the reasons why you use premium consumables. Anyways, torpedoes incoming, but that should still be fine. The Taiho got hit by torpedoes as well, and the dive bomber struck the Taiho, and yeah, I think the Taiho is toast at this point. Should succumb to the fire a tiny bit before. Oh, actually, is the Taiho gonna die before the timer ends? 15 seconds. Will the Taiho be able to survive? No, I think not. And this should give the point swing to Koenig's Extremes. With 6 seconds to go, he got into the lead. And there's a Baltimore firing, but these shells will not hit. And he managed to pull a solo warrior out of his hat. So congratulations to you, Koenig's Extreme. You managed to do a solo warrior, which is one of the most elusive medals you can get in the game. I think it might even be the hardest one. Actually, no, I'm pretty certain it is. Anyways, in this match you made 477,000 credits, 10,000 experience, although that is largely due to the multipliers. You got Arsonist, Witherer, Solo Warrior, Kraken Unleashed, and High Caliber. But no Confederate, though. Even though you got 6 kills. Nice kill securing there. Nice kill securing. Anyways, you did almost 200,000 damage, 8 torpedo hits, 29 bomb hits. I am very impressed by the DD hunting with the dive bombers. I think that's a really hard thing to do. Only shot down 34 planes, but it's kinda expected for the US carriers with one fighter squadron. 6 ships killed, 13 fires, only 13 fires from 29 bomb hits. In terms of the team experience, he wasn't actually that high up. The North Carolina with the 4 kills on his team got almost as much experience. So very well done by the North Carolina, especially since, he was stuck hull. But I mean, it's a solo warrior still. That's a really impressive medal to get. And well, obviously, because it's a solo warrior without Koenig's Extreme, his team would not have won the game. So I'm not actually sure about your name, because if your name really does mean that you can't do anything extreme, then might need a name change there. And obviously the detailed panel says the same thing we saw earlier, about 200,000 damage, mostly fighter kills in terms of planes, and you lasted the entire 20 seconds. Really well played, and thank you for submitting this. Also, notice that the most damage done was direct bomb hits. Second one is barely torpedo hits, and then it fires really close by. But yeah, thank you for submitting this, and anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.